tensions in the Middle East are escalating once again. In a dramatic move that has caught the world's attention, the United States has begun a large-scale military air deployment. Fifth-generation stealth fighters, the F-22 Raptor and F-35 Lightning II, are now en route to the region, following direct orders from U.S. Secretary of Defense Pete Hegseth. Described as a measure to enhance the defensive posture in the area, this operation coincides with growing concerns over a potential conflict between Iran and Israel. What's really happening behind the scene? And how serious is this deployment? According to reports, F-22 and F-35 are already en route to the Middle East as part of what the Secretary of Defense called an enhancement of the defensive posture in the region. Following the sudden and massive deployment of U.S. Air Force aerial refueling aircraft on the 16th of June, 2025, reports are quickly spreading about the ongoing deployment of U.S. fighter jets, and specifically F-22 Raptors and F-35 Lightning IIs. These reports come as U.S. Secretary of Defense Pete Hegseth directed the deployment of additional capabilities to the United States Central Command Area of Operations. Protecting U.S. forces is our top priority, and these deployments are intended to enhance our defensive posture in the region, said Hegseth, adding that the deployment orders were issued over the weekend. At about the same time, the statement was released. The first tankers with gold call signs, usually associated with Coronet flights, appeared on flight tracking websites. Usually, Coronet East or West missions are ferry flights across the Atlantic or Pacific Ocean, respectively, of aircraft which are either deploying to a forward operating base or returning home at the end of a tour of duty, or on delivery to a customer. These missions are supported by one or more tankers, either flying along with the receivers or launched from overseas bases that provide the fuel the fighters need to reach their final destination. Large formations are always split into more sections, each with a supporting tanker, given the workload of the fighters' pilots, who are required to refuel at fixed time intervals, so they always have enough fuel to reach the closest runways while over the ocean. Intermediate stops are also required. For a Coronet mission to CENTCOM, intermediate stops are usually at Logis Air Base in the Azores, or at either Nasrota or Moron Air Base in Spain. This appears to match similar reports that are going around about F-22 Raptors preparing to depart from Langley Air Force Base, Virginia, to deploy to the CENTCOM AOR. Langley is home to the 1st Fighter Wing and 192nd Fighter Wing, which oversee the operations of 3 F-22 squadrons. Regarding the F-35, reports mention different sources, either the Vermont Air National Guard or the 48th FW at RAF Lakenheath in the UK. As the only US F-35 permanently forward deployed to Europe, the choice of Lakenheath's F-35 would make sense, as they would quickly arrive in the AOR and be available for tasking. Glenn Lockett sent photos he took in the UK as the F-35s were deployed with KC-135 tanker support. Photos Lockett sent proved the dozen F-35s were divided into 3 flights of 4 jets each. While it's not clear whether the F-22s are also already en route, a Maguire C-17 Globemaster III landed at RAF Mildenhall, coming from Langley, fueling speculation of Raptors about to make a stop in RAF Lakenheath or Mildenhall on their way to the hot pit. The reason for this mass deployment was initially unclear, although it was noted these were repositioning flights and the tankers were not dragging fighter jets. Later in the day, U.S. officials told Reuters, speaking on condition of anonymity, that the large number of refueling aircraft deployed to Europe is meant to provide options to President Donald Trump as Middle East tensions erupt into conflict between Iran and Israel. Tankers are a critical asset for air power projection and are often deployed in advance or together with fighter jets, bombers, or support aircraft. The fact that this massive movement of tankers is happening as Israel conducts a campaign against Iran has raised some legitimate questions, which might soon be answered with the arrival of fighter jets. With the deployment of America's most advanced fighter jets and a wave of aerial refueling aircraft, Washington is sending a powerful message: full readiness in the face of rising tensions. While officially framed as a defensive move under U.S. Central Command, many observers see this as a strategic show of force. both to deter Iran and to reassure key allies like Israel. In the coming days, the arrival of these jets and the global response they trigger may shape the future of the Middle East conflict. Stay with us for the latest developments.